is very generic. You would always find it on every single website that is running on WordPress. So when you log onto the back end of any WordPress website, you will find similar thing. The colors might be a little bit different, of course. Maybe if they've customized the admin dashboard, it's possible to customize and change this color to like pink, yellow, whatever you want to call it. And then all of these things that are appearing for you here, you can also like change them around and stuff like that. So you can change the colors, and you can close some of these alerts and so on. So this is what you see on the back end when you log into a WordPress website. What I wanted us to do tonight was to actually I wanted to give access to you guys to this particular website, so that you can be going through everything as I'm talking. But yeah, nevertheless, we'll still do that. Yeah, after my introduction of everything, all the things that you see right here, don't be scared. You might, in fact, this is not even that much. On some websites, you might find a long list that you keep scrolling like this of different functionalities. So these are just different, you can call them menus, tabs, or just functionalities on the back end. Okay, so you have different functionalities here, right here, on the back end. And now that's about the login. And where we are now is talking about the dashboard, which I've explained to you. And now, like I've mentioned, we've got lots of stuff right here. How can we logically, divide all of these things? How can we logically arrange them in a way that makes sense to us? So now on the back end, you can group things, group the features by functionality. Okay, so you can group the feature by functionality. For example, the content editing functionalities or content editing features on the back end are the following that I'll be showing you. Now, what does that mean? So don't forget that I mentioned for this particular website, this is what the front end looks like. Front end is the front, it's like the front of your house. This is where users are landing, okay? This is where users interact with your website. They're able to see the menu, the content, and everything. So the users of your website, they don't need to understand what's going on in your backend. They have come here for a reason. So this particular website now is it's a blog, okay? It's a blog about students coming to study in the UK, okay? Now, as you can see, any user coming here, they are just interested in maybe reading the articles, or maybe interested in the services provided by the business or whatever. So now they come here to read the content. If they want to read this content, they just click on that, and they're able to read all of this content and just go ahead like that. But you are doing all the work in the back end. The back end here is where you are posting this image right here. The back end here is where you've added the image. And I'm just going to be breaking everything down for you and just showing you around the back end of the WordPress website. So let's start with the posts. So this is where you can see your blog post and create a new blog post. So the posts on the back end, look at it right here. When you hover over these posts, I mean, these are the most important. I'm not going to go through everything, because again, when you find yourself working on a company's websites, you don't necessarily need to know all of these features. No, there will be specific ones that you'll be working with on daily basis or maybe on weekly basis. Yeah, if you've used WordPress website before, you understand what I mean. So we are just going to focus on those ones that you might find yourself using every day, actually. So you've got posts. When you hover over the posts, you get even like sub menus. Let's call them like sub menus appear on the right hand side of posts. You see all posts, add new, categories, tag. So I'm going to go over each of them now. Okay. I click on all posts. What does that mean? And again, this is what you find in every single WordPress website. So unless they've modified some of the things, but yes, because this is the generic features, I'm just gonna go over them for you, because again, the goal is that at the end of this session today, you should feel more confident to be able to manage any website built on WordPress. All posts will take you to the lists of all the posts that you have on that website. Okay, so now these posts are being treated as blog posts, and we know what blog post is. And remember what I mentioned, that this particular website is actually a blog. And you can see this particular one, for example, Japa to UK, how to apply for master's degree program in the UK. So if you look here, you will see this is where you are controlling it on the back end. Right. This is where this content is. That's the title of the content that you can see right here. So the next feature here is under posts. We're still dealing with posts, is add new. When you click on add new, what you intend to do is definitely to create a new post. That's what you're doing right here. So you intend to create a new post. So when you want to create a new post, you click on the add new, and then you find yourself on the back here. But I'm not going to go through this now because we're leaving it for later. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. So we go back. So now categories. The next one, the next sub menu under posts is categories. So what do we understand by categories? Categories is just a logical way of categorizing or of splitting all of your posts into different categories, basically. It's just a way of splitting all of your posts on the back end into different categories. If you look at the back end, if you look at here right now, you'll see that we've got some existing categories, right? You've got accommodation, amenities, COVID, food, order, transportation. So it means that there are posts existing on this website which are related to accommodation. It means that there are posts which are related to amenities, COVID, food, order, and transportation. If you go to the right-hand side here, you'll find description. Under the description title, or the description column, I'll call it that, this is where you'll find the further description about that particular category that we are talking about on this row, for example. Now, this thing you see here is just, it comes out of the box from WordPress. And in some cases, you might not even find it there. You might have to install a plugin for that. But anyway, this is just indicating the search engine optimization score for that particular category. How is it performing? All of them are red because they are not performing. It seems like they're not performing really well out there. Okay. So slug. On the slug right here, what that means is how does Google understand this particular category? What is it that Google will understand it as? So Google is understanding this as like amenities, or as /COVID/food on your website. So basically, if someone just tries to Google your website and searching under certain category, if they want to navigate to your website, this is the URL name. Okay, so when you see slug, either in WordPress or any other CMS, what it just means is like URL name. You know what URL name means? So this, for example, that's like a URL name. That, for example, so it's what you put in your URL to, let's say, a path. It's a URL path. So what you add to the URL of your website to land on that particular category, that's what these things are. So yeah, now if you want to create a new category, it's quite easy. You can just come here and just create one for yourself. Or if there are posts that you want to create which are related to, say, maybe housing in the UK. So I've only written the name. I don't even need to add the slug because the slug will be automatically generated. So I might just go to the description and just add something like this category is for posts relating to housing. So now when you just click add new category, you see that the name is right here. The description is what you see right here. The description is just giving further information about that particular category. And then you have the slug, which is what is going to appear in the URL name of the website. So we've talked about these three, all posts. which is going to give us a view of all the posts that exist on the website. Add new. That is how you can add a new post to your website, which we're still coming back to.